Bong Joon-ho's Best Picture-winning Parasite is a movie about a poor family who, much like a parasite, infiltrates the Park family, who are portrayed as rich upper-class members of society. Bong uses clever cinematography, spatial division in the mise-en-scène, and symbols of capitalism to portray the power and social relations between the upper and lower classes in Korean society. Parasite's cinematography is extremely impressive and symbolic. The first scene is a pedestal pan downwards, showing the outside world through a tiny window and then landing on Ki-woo. The downward motion, which can be seen throughout the film, is symbolic of the lower class and their physical, social, and economic standpoint in society. Stairs and ascending or descending shots are highly symbolic of economic and story progression in the film. As Ki-woo begins his journey with the Park family, he is seen traveling to their house, ascending multiple staircases, at first shot from above and then below as he gets closer to the Park residence. Later on in the film, when things go south for the parasitic family, there are several shots utilizing descending stairs shot from above to show them as inferior and them slowly losing control of their situation unfolding around them. At one point, when the old housemaid is about to expose their lies, the mother pushes her down the stairs where she hits her head hard. This scene depicts the desperation of this lower class family to keep their act unscathed, doing whatever it takes even if it means hurting other families in need. After this scene, the family escapes and descends back to their homes with multiple impressive stairway shots. Next, Parasite's mise-en-scène illustrates the spatial divisions between the rich and the poor through literal lines found in scenes, as well as this concept of not crossing the line, commonly referred to by Mr. Park throughout the film. For Kim, Mr. Park's driver in the film, the idea of crossing the line is usually referring to his odor or his eyes while he is driving. However, this can also be shown in scenes where the family physically touches one of the Parks and there is an adverse reaction. Physical lines in the setting are also used to subtly show the division between the upper and lower classes in Korean society. In this scene, there's a shot where the wall in the background separates the two characters on either side of the screen. In the following reverse shot, the refrigerator does the same. When they walk up the stairs and reach the hallway, they are on different sides of the hallway, separated by lines carried down from the roof. There are numerous shots throughout the film that use these lines to show the separation and subtle discrimination of the lower class. Throughout the film, there are multiple symbolic representations of capitalism and its seemingly unfair or unequal outcomes. Windows are what separate us from the outside world, but also allow us to see sunlight and the beauty around us. However, the Kim family's windows are very small and troublesome later on in the film when the house is flooded. Contrasting this with the excessively large Park windows, and you see the difference of size and amount of light that is let into the house. Light almost becomes a symbolic commodity to be bought and sold. Another symbol of capitalism and wealth is the susek, or ornamental rock, that is brought to the Kim family by the same friend who started the chain with getting Ki-woo the tutoring job with the Park family. This rock represents their rise and fall and is practically attached to Ki-woo from the start. When their house is flooded, the rock floats to the surface and is found. Later on in the film, however, Ki-woo decides to use the rock to kill the two living in the basement, and on his way, he drops it and it tumbles down the stairs. The fall of the stone of wealth foreshadows the events to come, where the story starts to unravel. The rock is used to seriously injure Ki-woo, and the deranged murderer goes on a frenzy outside. In the chaos, director Bong Joon-ho crafts a scene where Mr. Kim sees Mr. Park plugging his nose, disgusted at the smell of the scene. For Mr. Kim, this crosses the line, and he decides to finally cross Mr. Park's line by stabbing him in the chest, up close and personal. This is then accompanied by a shot from directly above looking down at Mr. Kim and follows him down a staircase, bringing together cinematography, symbolism, and the idea of crossing lines all to fruition. In the concluding scenes, Ki-woo puts the rock in a pond. However, his passion and desire for wealth and fortune is not forgotten. He formulates a plan where he is going to save enough money to buy the house his father is trapped in, where they can live happily ever after. This sort of capitalistic dream that the poor desire represents how society values economic success and fortune, as it is the cure to all diseases. However, the symbiotic relationship between the Parks and the Kims represents a sort of master-slave dialectic, where they both need and leech off of each other while maintaining a certain social, economic, and physical distance. These issues are not solved by Ki-woo's plan, and society is still separated, with people trying to climb the socioeconomic ladder while stomping on people's heads in the process. Through the use of cinematography, divisions found in the mise-en-scène, and symbols of wealth, Bong creates a representation of the dream of capitalism that is dark and disturbing, leaving many to question who really is the parasite in this film.